What's up, guys? This is the network back with another video, and today we're talking about how to turn a fully built CPN into business credit, cash flow, and ultimately an FHA-approved investment property. This is the kind of strategy that changes your life if you follow it right. We're going from zero to ownership. And this is not theory. This is the actual play. And like always, this video is for educational purposes only. For help, breakdowns, or to get your file built correctly, contact us in the Discord, but Telegram is no longer reliable. And all right, let's get straight into it. And we're going to go way deeper this time. We start with CPN creation. And I'm not talking about downloading a list of random numbers. I'm talking about building a real, functional, and bulletproof profile that can hold high-limit credit, business funding, vehicles, and more. First thing, the identity setup. You're going to generate a clean CPN using a fresh DOB, a matching public record address, and a name that doesn't collide with your real file. This includes checking LexisNexis, SageStream, and IDA databases to avoid mixes. You use tools like Bin Verified and Truthfinder to double-check your public record presence. Once you lock that in, you create a corresponding email, phone number, and social footprint that looks legitimate. We're building a real person here, not a throwaway ghost file. Next step, open the credit file. You can't build anything until the bureaus recognize the profile. To do that, you apply for something soft like a Credit Karma account, or you trigger a file opening by applying for a secured card or soft pull offer that doesn't require prior history. This sends a signal to Experian and TransUnion to start generating your file. It usually takes 7 to 10 days to appear. Once your CPN file is live, we move into tradelines. You start with authorized user lines, add them from aged, low-utilization cards with at least 2 years of history. You want to avoid cards with missed payments or high balances. Aim for 2 AU lines minimum, 1 major bank and 1 department store line. Then you add a primary line. That could be a Credit Strong account, a self-lender, or any no-PG vendor that reports primary. Now here's the detail that separates the pros from the amateurs. While your score is building, you need to freeze LexisNexis, Innovis, CoreLogic, and SageStream. This protects your profile from verification checks that could pull your real history or red flag your file. Everything on the CPN should stand alone and be internally consistent. Once the profile hits 680 or higher, now we flip the credit into cash. This is done using credit-based flips. Some of y'all already know AT&T lines, phone flips, personal loans through apps, or even in-store approvals for electronics. The money gets liquid fast and can be doubled depending on your hustle. Most clients walk out with $5,000 to $15,000 off their first flip cycle. But like I always say, don't get greedy, move smooth, not sloppy. Now we take that same CPN and we move into the business credit game. You form the LLC, make sure the name is clean, the EIN is fresh from irs.gov, and the business info matches across the board. Virtual address, business phone number, email domain, and your NAICS code needs to be funding friendly. Don't choose something like cannabis or crypto if you're trying to get bank cards. Pick consulting, transportation, or e-commerce for best results. Then here's where you run the real strategy. You use your CPN as a personal guarantor. The score is already above 680, so now you can attach that file to business credit card apps and get instantly approved. You go for Divvy, Ramp, Capital on Tap, Navy Fed Biz, Amex Biz, Shell or Wex fuel cards. That's how you build out Tier 1 and Tier 2 funding. And you don't stop there. You grab vendor lines with Granger, Summa, Uline, Office Depot. All of them report to the business bureaus, and within 60 to 90 days, you've got a profile strong enough to pull real money. So once the business cards start reporting and your limits are stacking, now we liquidate again. Stripe merchant accounts, PayPal biz invoicing, split processing with vendors, high-ticket dropship flips. You move the credit into hard cash and park it in your business bank. Let it season for 30 days. That's your FHA down payment. FHA loans let you buy a 2 to 4 unit property with just 3.5% down. If you're buying a $400,000 fourplex, you're only putting down $14,000, and you can use the rental income from the other 3 units to help you qualify. This is what we call house hacking. You live in 1 unit for 12 months and let your tenants pay the mortgage. And if the building needs repairs, you go FHA 203K that wraps the renovation money into the loan. You can buy a distressed property, fix it up while you live in it, and refinance in 12 months to go full investment mode. And people always ask, is this legal? Yes. As long as the file is clean, the PG is consistent, and you follow residency rules, there's nothing illegal here. It's structure, it's understanding credit, and it's knowing how to move the money. And for those of you who want to push further, like here's the secret sauce. After year 1, refinance out of the FHA into a conventional, move out of the unit and rent it. Now do it again on a new FHA with your real SSN or a second structure. You now own multiple doors, all paying you cash flow and all funded by a system you built from scratch. You started with a CPN and ended with real estate, no debt, no begging, no cosigner, just strategy. And this entire blueprint, this is what the guide calls $1 million structuring. It's not just about credit, it's about creating leverage, stacking credit, turning it into capital, turning that capital into assets, and using the assets to buy back your time. So if you're tired of guessing, if you're tired of piecing together random advice from all over the internet, Stop playing with it. Join the Discord. We walk you through every step: CPN builds, trade lines, flip setups, business formation, funding, and investment. And remember, this is educational only. What you do with it is on you. But the information, it's all real. And now let's take it one level deeper, because the part most people miss is what happens after you get the FHA deal locked in. Once you've moved into the unit and started collecting rent from the others, that's when your real freedom begins. You're not just living for free, you're building equity every month. And if you structured everything the right way from day one, from the CPN to the business funding, then what you've built is a system that can feed itself. So here's what happens next. After you've been in the property for 12 months, which is the FHA requirement for primary residence, you can now start making transitions. And here's what we mean by that. You refinance the FHA loan into a conventional loan under your business name. Use the equity you built up during that year, especially if you did renovations, and pull out cash through a cash-out refinance. Now you've got liquidity again. And here's the move. You take that refinance money and go straight into your next property. This time, you can use your real SSN, or you can run another clean CPN that's been seasoned in the background. And if you kept your business credit building during the year, you're already prepped for higher limits, better lenders, and larger acquisitions. This is how you scale, and it doesn't stop at 2 properties. Once you've repeated this process, you have the documentation, the income history, the equity leverage, and the credit depth to keep expanding. Residential, commercial, even short-term rentals if that fits your market. And here's another gem from the guide that most people overlook: zombie debt reassignment. Once your business is fully structured and you've built trust with your vendors and bureaus, you can start acquiring charged-off debt portfolios, debt that's been sold, forgotten, and written off. Now here's the trick. If you get consumer consent and report properly using Metro 2 formatting, you can reassign that debt to fresh files or even your own structured credit profile. This is advanced. This isn't beginner level, but it's in the guide, and it's a real method. The big play here is data furnishing. Once your entity becomes a data furnisher, you can report your own trade lines, phone bills, rent, utilities, subscriptions, even private loans. And when you control what gets reported, now you control the entire credit narrative. You don't need to beg lenders for approval. You build the kind of file that gets auto-approved. And if you build it from day one with that vision in mind, every AU line, every vendor, every LLC move, every flip, it all builds toward that end goal: financial power, not just fast money. The CPN is not just about running flips, it's the foundation of a credit machine. It's how you unlock real estate, business leverage, trade credit, vehicles, and even income protection through multiple banking systems. And let's not forget the lease takeover game. If your CPN has a 700 score, aged file, and public record address that's verifiable, you can walk into a dealership or leasing office, assume a lease that somebody else can't finish, and drive off the same day. These aren't scams, this is structured credit, and if you know how to walk in and answer the right questions with confidence, you get treated like any other high-score customer. And that's the whole point. This whole system was built to bypass the waiting game, to skip the 7-year repair cycle, to give people a real second shot, not just another expense. So here's the full stack again. Build your CPN properly. Add AU lines plus a primary. Freeze your secondary bureaus. Generate public record alignment. Flip your credit into cash. Start your LLC with proper biz info. Attach your CPN as PG to Tier 1 biz cards. Liquidate through your business. Season funds for FHA, house hack your first property. Refinance plus repeat. Build data control and reassign debt. Scale into bigger plays. And we're teaching all of this inside the Discord. Every file we build is done in-house. Every method is tested. And if you're coachable, we'll walk you through it, step by step. Don't waste another year stuck in the system. This is the network, and this is the path. We'll see you in the next one. Stay locked in.